Hello everyone, we're just going to jump straight into this battle. This is a battle versus Mr. Mindfreak from the GameFAQs Black and White battle boards for Paper Mario 99's tournament. So we both lead off with Genesect, and I was going to try a U-turn, but he wins a speed tie and gets off a flamethrower, thus starting the battle off with a quick 6-5 lead for him. So, next I send out my Shandera, and since it's trapped with Shadow Tag, it can't really kill me, especially with Flamethrower. So I'm able to just Fire Blast him, get him out of here for an easy 5-5. Believe me, this battle does not go that quickly. Just this beginning part. So, next up, he takes a minute to think about what he's going to do, and he goes in and sends in his Tyranitar, thus starting up the Sandstorm. Now, I'm going to die here because he's just going to pursue me, but I'm going to go ahead and switch off to my Mamoswine. Unfortunately, this is not going to happen very quickly, because I'm trying to decide what to do, because I know it's going to die. So he just pursues me, like I said, and I end up dying. No big deal. My initial thought was that it was probably choiced of some kind, because choice is far more likely to run pursuit. So, because of the way Black and White battles work, I was able to see his team before we actually started, so I know he has a Gliscor. I'm just going to go ahead and go with Icicle Crash as it comes in. So in comes Gliscor, I use Icicle Crash, and out goes Gliscor, putting me in the lead at 5-4. No, I'm sorry, 4-4. Forgot Shandera died. Oh well. Anyway, Life Orb hurts me a little bit, but I'm still kicking fine. Next he blinks in his Scizor. Now, my original thought was, I knew for a fact actually already that it was an SD Scizor. So, I'm figuring he's probably going to take this chance to go and set him an SD on the predicted switch. I go for an Earthquake, but he Bullet Punches me right out of the gate, dropping me down to 3 pokes and him to 4. This is important for later because the way this tournament works, the score matters. So I'm down 1 poke and I'm at 3, he's at 4. So I take this chance to bring in my Thundurus. And feeling he's probably not going to stay in, I just go ahead and go with the T-Wave. And in comes Magnezone, and it gets paralyzed. This is a godsend later because I honestly still don't know what item it has. I know it's set, but I don't happen to know what item it has. So I switch out and go to my Scrafty. He uses Volt Switch to get the switch, obviously. And he switches out to his... Come on, bring him in. Bring him in. He's going to switch out to his Jellicent. Now, this is where a very long stall match happens, unfortunately. Because a good amount of this time is spent just staring at the back of Scrafty's head. He Toxics me. I know that I'm not going to be able to do much to him, so I'm just going to bulk up. Not much to say there. So, a bit of toxic damage, a bit of sandstorm damage, a bit of lefties. No big deal. Anyway. So, he's probably going to stay in and try and scald me, if I can remember correctly. I'm just going to keep bulking up, I think. Yes, he scalds me. And I continue to bulk up. Seeing how much damage that did, I know I can live another one, even with the sandstorm damage and toxic damage. Not very much, but I know I can live it. So, I go ahead and here, after the toxic damage hits me, I'm going to go ahead and use Rest. Meanwhile, he is going to go ahead and switch out, I believe. Whether he switches out, or, yeah, switches out. And he goes to his Magnezone. Not entirely sure why, but he does. I guess he was expecting payback. Though Tyranitar probably would have been a better choice. Anyway, Shed Skin gets me a wake up really quickly, and so I'm sitting pretty at full health. Now, unfortunately, I make a mistake here, and I should have used payback and would have saved me a lot of trouble in the long run. But I go ahead and go with a high jump kick, trying to kill that thing, and he brings back in Jellicent, and so I go and crash. So, this makes up for the Gliscor prediction earlier. Luckily, I'm left with just around half health, which is fine. Because that still means the Jellicent can't do much to me in the way of damage. I can still kill him before he does anything. So, I'm going to go ahead and go with a Bulk Up, because I knew he was going to switch anyway. And he brings in Tyranitar, which is not good for me. Now see, I was under the impression that this thing was banded at the time, so I was a little worried about dying to superpower, which he does use. And I was really hesitant about doing anything because I had this very scary sensation that he was just going to switch back to Jellicent. So I'm taking this time to try and decide what I'm going to do. And so he uses superpower. He hits me. I don't die because of all the bulk ups. +3 is nice. Anyway, so I rest because I knew that if he superpowered, I was going to go ahead and be very low. And plus, if he brought Jellicent back in, free rest. GameFAQs activates again and I wake up, which is very, very nice. 30% is lovely. And so, I'm awake at full health and he's not doing too well. But this time I knew he was going to bring Jellicent in, so I just used payback and smack it in the face. Unfortunately, even at +3, a 50 base power, well, 75 after stab, 150 after super effective, is not that strong. Or at least not strong enough to kill him. If payback kept its properties from last gen, he would have been super dead. And so I'm left staring at Jellicent's head again. Now I have the feeling that he's just going to switch out again because he can't toxic me for all intents and purposes. Scald is too weak. So he brings back in Tyranitar. And I just pay back in again. Because I didn't want to risk that he does stay in and my high jump kick just ends up flat killing me. Or at the very least drops me low enough that superpower will kill me. So I knew from the damage from before that I could go ahead and bulk up with impunity because superpower wasn't going to kill me. So he superpowers, he does a fair bit of damage, his stats drop, and I get a bulk up buff. I'm at +4, and he's actually at -1 because he has leftovers. So, now I knew I was pretty safe unless he critted, which I was worried about the entire time this exchange was going on. So, he's going to bulk up, he's going to go ahead and superpower me again, and I believe this is where I use a rest. Oh no, I pay back in. I'm trying to get him out of there, I guess. He actually lives by some inane amount, like around 5. And so I'm left staring at Tyranitar stuff. It's at this point that I decide to go ahead and take a rest because I know I can kill him with anything I do, and his superpower is going to do decreasingly less and less. So I go ahead and take the time to rest and get back up to full health. Sandstorm becoming much of a bother. And this is where I find out that GameFAQs actually goes after Sandstorm. Or rather, all their stuff happens first, then mine. So, he superpowers me again. It doesn't do much. He's at like -4 when he fired that off. So I pay back again just to make sure in case Jellicent came back in, it was going to die. Score is now 3-3. Now here's where he brings Scizor back in, and I was genuinely worried about Scizor for all of 3 seconds, and then I remembered, High Jump Kick will go ahead and kill his ass right now. He Sword Stances up, because he knows he can't really kill me. So I pay back, figuring, actually, that Jellicent was going to come back in. I don't do enough to kill him, and I'm worried that I won't do enough to him at that point in time. However, so I'm left with a decision. Either I go ahead and use payback again and not kill him and either give him a free Sword Stance or a roost, or I go ahead and use High Jump Kick and kill him now without having to worry about it, but risk Jellicent coming back in. I eventually go with High Jump Kick. He doesn't roost or Sword Stance, but I go ahead and miss High Jump Kick, dropping me low enough, especially after Sandstorm, or at least after Sandstorm damage, that since I don't get the leftovers recovery, that he will in fact kill me with Bug Bite. So this is not very good for me. I'm staring down a +2 Scizor with no real options at the moment. And so right now I'm trying to decide whether or not Scrafty will live or die, which in hindsight I really should have known that he was. So he's able to kill me with Bug Bite. So he's steadily recovering with leftovers. Anyway, now I bring my Thundurus back in and threaten with Thunderbolt. Because he cannot kill me with a +2 and leftovers. If he had Life Orb, he would come close, but he doesn't. So he brings Magnezone in, and I go ahead and Thunderbolt because I figure he's got Jellicent and this thing, so whatever, I'm gonna... HP Ice is not gonna do much for me. Neither is Dark Pulse. So, he's got that in there, and I'm deciding whether or not what to do. And so eventually I decide to go to my Superior because this is the only chance I'm gonna have to bring him in. Honestly, if at any point I felt secure in bringing Superior in, it would have been game over. But I'm able to bring Superior in now, and he takes the Thunderbolt rather nicely. I'm glad he didn't get paralyzed, because even though Magnezone paralyzed, I wouldn't be outspeeding anything else on his team, which would have been bad. So I go ahead and use Substitute. Actually, I'm trying to decide whether or not to use Substitute or Hidden Power Fire, because I was getting the suspicion I wouldn't kill him with Hidden Power Fire, and then I would be subject to getting hit by Scizor. And so I go for Sub. I, in fact, get the Sub off. He switches over to Jellicent, and that would be game, because now Jellicent is in there against my Superior. So, if he switches to anything else, I still get the free +2 from using Leaf Storm. If he doesn't, well, Jellicent's dead. As that happens. So Jellicent's dead, I'm sitting at +2, and I have Hidden Power Fire to finish off the rest of his team. First of which he brings in is Mr. Scizor, who all he's going to be able to accomplish is to Bullet Punch to break my sub. And then he's got Paralyzed Magnezone, who is not going to live a Hidden Power Fire. So, that would be game versus Mindfreak, and this is the first match of my round 3. My other match for round 3 will be going up shortly. Will be going up soon, I should say, not shortly. Will be going up soon. So, good game, Mindfreak, and yeah, battle coming up pretty soon.